All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants, doing a film breakdown on the Giants free agent linebacker Bobby Okereke. Giants needed a Mike linebacker desperately. They go out, they get him. He's 6'1", 235 pounds, a little light, and that can show up in his play. But he is a fast player who can get downhill. Not the perfect linebacker, but definitely a good linebacker for and what the Giants needed at this spot. Going to go through his run plays. Obviously, that's the most important thing for a linebacker. Coverage. I know people will read his PFF stats. I actually think his coverage is really good. Might even be the best part of his game, and that obviously fits with what Wink Martindale's going to try and do. So let's get into all of it. Like and subscribe to the channel. Check out all the other free agent breakdowns that are coming. So first play is number 58, obviously. In this Titans game, I thought is where you saw the best of him. Now, this is playing against a zone team, which is when he is best in the run game. So the Giants are going to bring the Titans are going to bring Robert Woods across the formation. Going to run some misdirection. So this is his gap. But with him coming down here, he's going to come play to the ball, stack the center and shed, and then get in there on Henry. Now, another player from the backside makes a play on it. But nonetheless, he's there. He's there to make a run stop. And that showed up consistently in this game versus the Titans. I think that's when he's his best in the run game is in space. You know, he's not going to be the totally best blocking and shedding. Now here, Titans are going to run their zone with the fullback. And you see him get some momentum, and that's where he can hit. Like, he can come and hit. Now, he's not going to take on offensive linemen and stun offensive linemen, but you get him against a fullback, and he comes and, bam, lowers that pad. Lowers the pads, brings the boom, bam. Like, you see that. When he's getting downhill, like, he's fast, and they use that momentum to bring power. Now here, just some, normal run plays versus the split zone. Again, working versus space. Reading that zone. They got this split, this tight end right here on this wham block. So he's got to read. You see it? Go. Now 90 on the Colts does a damn good job. But we're here. We're getting fast. We're getting downhill. Not allowing any linemen to come and scrape over us. And a run stop. Here again versus the Titans. Versus zone. Just get downhill. Read the zone steps, moving with them, and then just show off that athleticism. Get downhill, and help make a tackle on Derrick Henry. Again, a lot of times 90 Grover Stewart was making plays for him. Like, he could have had a lot better stats if it wasn't for him playing so well up front. But just gets downhill and helping with a run stop. Again, zone. Now the left tackle doesn't know what play he's running. But reading those zone steps, reading his guard. Get downhill. Go. That's when he's at his best. Is when he's able to get a clear read and get downhill. Titans are running duo, which is a lot of double teams. Just read it. Get downhill. Get through this gap. And make a run stop versus one of the best run offenses. And again, the Titans have a really good run offense. This is against one of the best run offenses in the NFL, obviously, with Derrick Henry and what they do in their run game. You're going to see him do it again here, too. Running that duo. Doesn't get over aggressive and try and jump this gap. Trusts it, gets into his gap. Keeps shoulders square. Henry cuts back. And you're there for the tackle. And you see that consistently. Going to see the same thing Here we got the fullback, so we've got a kind of an extra read on this. He's got the inside shoulder. This is his gap. Keep his shoulders square. Force Henry to cut back. Once he does, we're jumping back on this gap and helping with the tackle. Big pile by the Titans offensive lineman. Again, not overplaying this. Not flying through here, but just reading. Reading off that cut. And getting the run stop. Here versus the Giants. Again, here out in space. This is when he can make plays. Reading. These guys are pulling up front. They're running that sweep. And Glowinski, who's an athletic offensive lineman, we're going to see some negatives in this matchup. But getting out under this, being able to dip, like Breida's reading off of him, right? So if he just kind of gets washed out here, Breida is working up here. But able to dip, get low, and then get that tackle. Again, if Glowinski's able to get in this hip and push him out, Breida is going, bam, big run. Or at least, meeting up with 25. And he's kind of makes those athletic plays in the run game. So his athleticism is what makes him valuable in the run game. Like, he's not going to come in here and blow up offensive linemen and be a technician deconstructing blocks. But again, Colts are going to run this run blitz where they're shooting everybody down a gap. Play it outside. Breida's pulling, gets washed up by this. Like, good job by the front here. Play up fast. Push off that left foot versus the cut and making a tackle for a loss. So those are plays where he's best. Now here's where he struggles in the run game. He has trouble getting on blocks when those offensive linemen get into his chest. So like, this is a solid play here. Like, he makes a tackle. Good reading. But at this point, there should be more effort into deconstructing this block. I get they're playing from a light box. He's able to make a tackle, but again, it's a tackle that's like about 8 yards downfield. So that's a good linebacker play, just not a great linebacker play where he could go and shock the center. And then you're going to see the Giants break off a big run here. Like, this athletic play from Glowinski here. But, I mean, he gets mauled on this play by Glowinski. A little slow reading what they're doing. And at this point, you got to kind of come with more pop. More power in those hands. And instead, he just kind of gets taken for a ride. And it leads to a big Giants run. Here versus the Titans. Again, we saw him bring the pop earlier in this video on the fullback. But here with this offensive lineman, like, you want to stack and shed this. You should be bringing power. He's got momentum. Bringing power. Deconstructing this block. And instead, he's left fighting and losing ground and becoming part of the momentum that the offense has on this. Bam. So when he kind of gets banged around when he's in those block or stack and shed situations. Like, that's something that shows up pretty often. Here. Same thing. Like, you've got like, he's in the right spot right here. He played it well, he played it aggressive. Use those hands, kind of get a stronger base and deconstruct this block, and instead he's getting pushed out here. Not really consequential to the play, but still something that shows up. So now let's go through his coverage. I really like this guy in coverage. And again, you're going to look at the PFF stats and show, wow, he gave up this many catches. PFF their tracking stats for linebackers is just closest in the area. And a lot of times the Colts were allowing stuff to just be thrown in front of them from their linebacker spot. It's the same thing when the Giants signed Blake Martinez when we look at their coverage stats. Those are not what you look at. And I put an emphasis on looking at stuff from third down, and I was really, really impressed. So here versus the Titans. Running back's going to run this little flare route. This is on first down, but in the red zone. This can be a two-way go. This is Hillard, who's a good receiving back. Read that. Keep your hips square. He declares, go. Undercut it. Make a play on the ball. Now the Titans are forced with 2nd and 10 at the 11-yard line. Like, really good stuff. Here again versus the Patriots on the flare out. This is third and 4. This is when it matters. This is when coverage as a linebacker matters the most. Again, he's matched up with the back. Keep your shoulders square. Don't give him that first down marker. He declares, you go. And again, undercutting it, making a play, and they're forced to kick a field goal. Like, that's when he's at his best. Now, here he does get beat on the flare for a touchdown. Right here. Again, but see where he makes, is running out with this, and then this little stutter from the back. See how it gets his feet kind of out of whack. And it's a good throw and catch. But just when you're kind of running that sprint out to the flat, gives him that ability to get there and freeze you on that little stutter that Stevenson ran. But then here you come back, like, again, that was bad, but there's so much good. Here again, third down and short. Like this little running back whip route. Again, this is third down and short. Not overbiting on this. Playing it. He pops out. You're there in the hip. Undercut it. Again, force to kick a field goal or go for it on fourth down. And again, on third down is when I was very, very impressed with his coverage. Here, I just wanted to put this play on here to tackle for a loss on the screen. He's playing the flats. He was kind of put on stop Saquon Barkley in the receiving game. And Saquon Barkley had 2 catches for -5 yards. And the other catch wasn't on him. Just a good job. Got the play action, reading it. Make a big stop, put the Giants in 2nd and 15 early on in the game. But I didn't put a lot of these plays in there. But he's covering the flats. But that was something that the Giants ate on a lot coming up into this game, obviously. And in this game, they weren't able to because of Bobby Okereke. I don't think I pronounced that right. Next play. So now I want to go through his coverage just like in zone. Like shutting down progression, shutting down read. So right here. Like we're in this cover 2 zone. He's in this curl hook area. Shutting down this progression. Shutting down this progression for Richie James. Jones turns his eyes here. Richie James is going to get here. Underneath it. Underneath it. Forces Jones to roll out and run. Like little stuff like that matters. Because if he's just spot dropping sitting right here, Jones is probably going to throw that ball to Richie James, and he's able to shut it down. This next play versus the Titans, a 3rd and 7. Right here. Tight end's going to run this hitch. Bam, we're breaking on it. We're not giving them that space. They're running all these hitches with the wheel. It's not going to happen on his side. Break on it. If he catches that, you're there. That's a stop. So he does that type of stuff consistently in zone coverage. Here, another 3rd down. Titans are going to run a mesh. Knowing what he's doing, this is good defensive play calling. But this sit route on the top, the corner's going to carry the sit route. You're reading what you're gotten. You're reading that this is going to be mesh. You see this underneath. And you bait the quarterback because the quarterback thinks you're just going to sit right in this zone and stand in front of the sit route right here. Get on it. And damn near gets an interception on this play. And again, a third down stop. And that's when I thought he was his best in coverage, was on third down. Here, this is actually going to be a big gain versus the Titans. He's going to carry this over route by the tight end. Again, you see the good athleticism. Like, he's not able to turn his hips until the tight end's even with him. And that's Hooper, who can run pretty well. He's able to stay with that, get underneath this, cut this underneath. But Tannehill makes a great throw. Hooper makes a great catch on the back shoulder. But, like, he's there. So, again, that's giving up a big catch. But I don't look at that and be like, man, that's a tough coverage play at linebacker. So in the 3 games that I watched, this was really the only this is flat out bad coverage. So he's going to come out here on Hodgins. And Hodgins just breaks him down. Like, he's covering the zone. And he bites on this little fake that Hodgins gives. And just gets shook. But again, the only time where I'm just like, this is flat out bad coverage is split out on a wide receiver. Not the fastest wide receiver in the world, but we know Hodgins, he's a good route runner. And then I just wanted to throw this play at the end, right here. First play of the half. Complete the stick route to Darius Slayton. Get in there. Punch the ball out. Fumble. Colts get the ball to start the second half with good territory, but their offense is really bad. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Giants got themselves a good linebacker. Not a great linebacker, not a franchise-changing linebacker, but this was a much-needed addition. I don't think this stops the Giants from going out and drafting a linebacker. In fact, I still kind of in that boat because I want to have good linebackers, but he fits what Wink Martindale wants to do, being that athletic linebacker, being able to carry in coverage and different types of coverage, whether it's man on the running back or zone covering receivers and tight ends. So, some good stuff. Not the perfect linebacker. He's not going to be like Blake Martinez playing against the run, but his speed is going to allow him to make plays. So like and subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys. Let's go Big Blue.